Hello, my name is Israel Pesalgena, and they are my partner Ray and Natalia. In this video, we are going to talk about New York City. Let's begin. Next, please.
Yes.
Okay. Without a doubt, one of the cities that have a radically changed in their image over time is New York. The negotiations that lead the current configuration of the New York with a division in five boroughs, Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx, and Staten Island, only go back to the 19th century and the first half of the 20th century. Before this consolidation, the city was increaser, and even though New York in the one of the centuries of the world economic nowadays, the city was the theater of the operations of various conflicts with a high crime rate. That said, this it managed to gain progressively greater importance, to the point of constituting today the largest city in the United States and one of the most important and dynamic metropolis in the world, not only in the demographic terms, but also a center of top-down the science making and the finance and stocks market capital of the world. It has become a city with a love ethnicity. That's it.
Okay. Cecilia Barria argues that there are five reasons that explains the great and faster development of New York. The first one is boom in corporate profits. In the United States, there is talk of an earnings boom in large companies. The net income of publicity traded companies has reached the highest levels in the last decade, with quarterly increases of more than 10%. And company earnings are the engine that drives share prices, which is why their sustained increase explains Wall Street rise and establishes a specific value in the market. The next one is economic growth. The USA economy recently had a particularly brisk performance during the second quarter, expanding an annual of 4.1%, the highest pace in nearly 4 years. With unemployment at 17-year low of 3.9%, the fear is that the economy is overheating and that inflation will spike at some point. The next one is 3. Low interest rates, the sweet money cycle. For years, the Federal Reserve and other central banks injected liquidity into the systems to sustain the recovery and allow investors to take one more risk by buying assets. The next one is 4. The called Trump effect. The corporate tax cut, one of Donald Trump's policy flagships, has boosted corporate profits and had an impact on Wall Street rise. Analysts say the reduction from 35% to 21% has put a lot of cash on the table for boards on the one hand and mean less revenue to tax coffers on the other. And the last one is the technological development. Finally, there is the growth of the technology firms that strongly boost the total value of the New York Stock Exchange, the so-called FANGs, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, and Netflix and Google.
So now I'm going to talk about the future developments and changes of the city. So New York City has grown a lot since the past few years, and it continues to evolve. According to Kevin Short, a lot of projects started in 2017 that will make the city more attractive. We have the Penn Station that it is being remodeled. So this is how it looks like now. Next, please. And this is how it is supposed to look once they restructure the station. Next, please. Next, we have the Hudson Yards, where developers have craft and ambitions plan to convert 26 acres of rail facilities into the largest private real estate development in the city. So this is how it looks like now. Next, please. And this is how it's supposed to look like when they are done with this project. And then we have the luxury apartments. This project consists in tearing down the buildings that you can see in the slide in order to make luxury apartments that are supposed to look like something like this. As you can see, they remodel everything. And at last but not least, we have the renovation of the E6 Street Market. This is how it looks before, and this is after. Were this project to continue, the Essex crossing would look like this. So now New York underwater. All these changes will make the city more appealing in order to attract people to live here. However, climate change will have an impact on the city. Due to the fact that New York is next to the ocean, should this problem continue, the levels of the sea will increase. As a result, the city will be flooded. Next, please. So these are the APA style sources that we use to create our presentations, where we could find the information. So thanks for watching this.
Listo. No, ¿alguien sabe, alguien